And now the begging begins. MSNBC's Morning Joe host traveled to Florida to meet with Trump and restart communications. Ah, indeed. And I wonder why that is. Well, could it be that MSNBC's weekend ratings were, I kid you not, 28,000? Now, some have said, yeah, Tim, what about social media and YouTube? It's not better. MSNBC is done. It's over. I think people are tired of being lied to. You know, as Greg Gutfeld, I've pointed out several times because credit where credit is due. The liberal worldview is downstream from hoaxes. It's all made up. And that explains so much. You know, you watch Saturday Night Live and you're like, what is this joke they're making about RFK Jr.? I don't understand. He's not anti-vax. Ah, well, if you watch MSNBC and you believe these people, you think RFK Jr. wants to ban vaccines. If you listen to any one of these liberals, they're just lying about everything. So when a joke is made where RFK Jr. is like, oh, I want to ban vaccines, you're like, haha, yeah, he does. And then the rest of us who know he doesn't are just like, what is this joke supposed to represent? It doesn't exaggerate reality. It doesn't speak truth to power. I mean, I don't understand what your joke is. Well, here's the reality. In the earlier segment, I was pointing out how we've won culturally. I mean, everyone's doing the Trump shimmy, no longer bending the knee. And this story was one piece. But my friends, I must bring you now the ratings and CNN as well. As the story goes, CNN is going to be laying off hundreds after a ratings day wipeout. Not only did we win the popular vote, not only are these people now begging to be let back into the fold of normal America, their machines are done. Imagine how embarrassing it must be to have dedicated 8 or 9 years of your life to screaming that Trump is literally Hitler, a criminal, convicted felon, rapist, etc. And it's all just BS nonsense weaponization, and you've lost everything. Drop to your knees, Joe Scarborough, and beg for forgiveness. You know, I'll give a shout out because it's really funny. We went to the grocery store the other day because I had to get my coconut milk for my protein shakes, and butter was down. Butter was down. It was $6, and that was a key moment for them when Joe Scarborough said butter was $3, and Micah points out it was $7, and he was like, "What is it? Framed in gold?" That shows you exactly who these people are and exactly why their ratings are gone. Who's watching now? 28,000 people. What? The 28,000 uppity liberal millionaires who live in New York? Must be it. Or maybe the ratings just come from someone accidentally leaving the TV on. Well, here's the story that I covered a little bit, but I'll give you the context right now before we jump into the ratings. Before we get started, my friends, head over to castbrew.com and buy Cast Brew coffee to support our work. We own Cast Brew. It's our company. We sponsor ourselves. So pick up some Stand Your Grounds right now. Rise with Roberto Jr. or Appalachian Nights. Ian's Graphene Dream will be back soon. Everyone loves it. But of course, Stand Your Grounds has been selling out pretty hot recently. And also go to timcast.com, become a member, join the Discord, join the movement, tens of thousands of people. If you want to figure out how to get involved, this is where you start. Let's grab this story. The Independent says, Morning Joe co-host Joe Scarborough and Micah Brzezinski visited Mar-a-Lago to meet Trump. Scarborough and Brzezinski have been highly critical of Trump leading up to the election, calling him erratic, slamming his election fraud efforts, blah, 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 blah. They said they disagree with them, and I covered that in the earlier segment. We had not spoken to Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call that Joe made after the attempt on his life in Butler. Yeah, it's funny. They say that they disagree a lot. Charlemagne the God is now saying that maybe the Democrats were lying to him about Trump being a fascist because the moment Trump won, they shook his hand, told him congratulations, and now even Morning Joe, they're now saying everything's fine. Comcast may cut ties with MSNBC. Ratings are down and the partisan hosts are increasingly unhinged. MSNBC, it's crazy. Do you guys know that Tucker Carlson used to be on MSNBC? They went insane. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, from Adweek. Overnight cable news ratings for CNN and MSNBC experience post-election ratings blues. Here we go. This is crazy because this is right after the election. Take a look at this. MSNBC, this is key demo viewership. Chris Wallace got 94,000 in the span of 2 hours. 66 for Melber, 76 for Reed. I mean, look, Laura Ingraham got 481,000 key demo. Fox News consistently hits around 500,000 in the key demo. That's great. But look at this. Chris Hayes, 77,000. Joy Reid, 76,000. It's apocalyptic. Now, their total ratings, including those who are 70 and older, sure, they're going to 500,000. But Fox News, Jesse Waters got 4.219 million. Shout out to Jesse Waters. To be fair, though, that's only going to last for another, 5 or so years. Jesse Waters, what did he get? He got 568,000 in the key demo. That's pretty dang good. That slightly better. I don't know what he's getting on YouTube, but because our show is distributed on multiple platforms, Timcast IRL does bigger than that. But I don't know if Fox News is getting more on everywhere else. But IRL's comparable in the key demo. That being said, we ain't getting 4 million of the older crowd. And so that's where cable TV is still hitting it. Take a look at this. Melbourne, 9 p.m., 26,000. Sharpton, 33,000. MSNBC reports 13,000. Holy crap. I could make a video of... I could accidentally upload a video of me saying a random gibberish word for 3 seconds and get more views than that. Wow. Guys, we live streamed an empty studio on Timcast IRL a couple years ago, and we had 40,000 concurrent viewers. But here's the big one. Morning Joe. 28,000. And it's funny because when I tweeted this, everyone's response was, Tim, are you sure it's not 28? Aha. They would have to put 0.00 if that was going to be just 28 viewers. But I get it. It's a good one. I mean, for that matter, look at CNN. Fox News, big weekend show, 234K in the key demo. It's kind of wild, too, because my Saturday and Sunday shows, I only put up one show each, 20 minutes long, still got 200 or so K. And that is beating all of the major cable networks in the key demo. That being said, there are many other people who produce content on YouTube that get way more than I do. The point is, we've won. Take your victory lap. The corporate press is done. CNN Newsroom struggling. 45,000. I mean, this is crazy. 27,000 at 5 p.m. Absolutely terrible. Oh, here's Jen Psaki. She got 22,000. Man. Now, many people have said, Tim, yes, but what about on YouTube? Okay, on YouTube, they're probably doing well. Nope. Take a look at this. Morning Joe 6 minutes ago, 2,000 views. Here's one from 2 hours ago, 13,000 views. Defense pick, Pete Hegseth denies sexual assault allegations, a 12-minute long video. Need I even show you any of the videos I have on this channel? How about this? I uploaded a video at 10. As of recording this, it's already it's 70,000 views. And that's around 11. And my video from yesterday, all right, so I put up a video. It's already got more views in an hour than they got in 2 hours. But let's just jump back. Look at this. 17 hours ago, they got 35K views. It must be so infuriating for these people that they have become so irrelevant. And you know what they do? The only thing they can do is become increasingly more unhinged. It's the only thing they ought to do. Now, CNN, I think, got it. CNN began to moderate because they knew you can't drive off the cliff. MSNBC doubled down with their psychotic nonsense. And now you got Joe and Micah desperately trying to turn around. It ain't going to work. Listen, you've gone too far. You've become psychopaths, insane people. Donald Trump was a fascist, rapist, convicted felon. All of it was nonsense. And they believe it. Their whole worldview is downstream from hoaxes. How do you cure someone of such an affliction? Well, maybe you don't. CNN's going to fire everybody. And oh boy, I'm excited for it. Now, when the news initially broke, the Babylon Bee said that they were offering up jobs to rival fake news outlet CNN. Bravo, gentlemen. Ratings challenge CNN is reportedly set for a major bloodbath, with boss Mark Thompson expected to lay off high-price on-air talent as part of a wide-ranging layoffs. The cable network, which lagged behind rivals MSNBC and Fox News during last week's election night coverage, will implement layoffs that will impact hundreds of employees across the organization. Thompson, who took over last year after ouster of Chris Licht, will cull personnel from CNN's television production team whose talents won't necessarily be needed in the new digital-first landscape. Dude, I don't know how these psychopaths hired Caitlin Collins. Seriously. Look, and I'm going to say this dispassionately, okay? There's certainly things I disagree with on some of these people, and I have personal issue with them. But I can tell you, I understand Anderson Cooper's ability on camera. Caitlin Collins, I don't get. I mean, Dana Bash, CNN's got personalities. I understand why they hired this person. I'm like, okay, that's a person who knows how to be on. Caitlin Collins does not fit this mold at all. I think they were desperate for some younger personality, and nobody wants to work for a dying outlet, so that's the best they could have done. And they're reportedly paying her $3 million a year. Or maybe that's just her contract value, because $3 million is nuts for what she brings in. The network's workforce is reported to be coping with an atmosphere of high stress and high anxiety. You deserve it. All of you deserve it. You are liars, cheaters, and thieves. You have manipulated for too long. I was, where were we? I can't remember where I was. We were in a hotel, and I turned on CNN. Where was this? I can't remember the last. We were in Nashville recently, but we had an Airbnb. We were in Nashville. I can't remember where we were, but we had a hotel. I turned on CNN. It was for some show we were doing, and they were just lying about everything. And I'm like, this is crazy. Out of context manipulations. It's what they do. It is insane. Cooper, who anchored the election night coverage, makes an annual salary reportedly as high as $20 million. Burnett makes about $6 million, and Collins takes home a more budget-friendly $3 million. Can you imagine? It's absolutely nuts. Well, here we go. MSNBC is fried as well. This from the Free Beacon. They say, Donald Trump's first term as president was the best thing that ever happened to MSNBC. The Democratic-aligned cable news channel enjoyed record ratings between 2017 and 2020 because of resistance liberals, blah, blah. We get it. In the days since the election, MSNBC's ratings haven't seen a Trump bump. They've cratered. More on that shortly, but the ratings collapse comes as MSNBC, with his increasingly ugly rhetoric denigrating of Trump supporters and ethically challenging hosts, has emerged as a major headache for parent company Comcast, much as Fox News is a perennial problem for 21st Century Fox. Blah, blah, blah. Comcast's recent comments that it's considering spinning off its portfolio of cable channels, suggesting that the company owners, the billionaire Roberts family, would like to rid themselves of MSNBC and the accompanying bad publicity once and for all. It is, after all, a declining asset. After averaging 1.1 million viewers in the month of October. What? What? Averaging 1 million viewers. That must be Key Demo? Their ratings declined. That makes sense. If they're getting like 29,000 views in a slot, is it really a million? No, that can't be right. That means like in one day. Yeah, no. They should be getting like 3 million in the Key Demo per month. During the primetime hours of 8 to 11, when advertising rates are the highest, the network's ratings plummeted more than 50%. NBC Universal put out a press release boasting that for the first time in history, MSNBC had more viewers on election night than CNN, even though many attributed those numbers to gleeful conservatives tuning into gawk at the left-wing pundits experiencing public meltdowns. Not to mention the fact that CNN was also experiencing historic ratings collapse in the Biden era. Here's my pitch. It was a super chatter who proposed this. We buy MSNBC for pennies on the dollar, and we just put Alex Jones on all the shows. The ratings will come right back. And considering what's going on with the attempt to shut down InfoWars, sounds like a good idea. They're going to mention an article headline, "The Resistance is Futile." Buyers ran through various reasons why MSNBC might not have the muscle or momentum to return to its old, occasionally shrill form. The former political scribe, best known for helping ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos preempt a Washington Free Beacon report. Come on, guys, just give me the news. Jeez, I hate when they do this. And this is Free Beacon. They're not that great. The Free Beacon can confirm that elderly whites who shelled out thousands of dollars for tickets were disproportionately represented at the MSNBC Democracy Festival in Brooklyn 2 months ago. Great. Well, Rachel Maddow's premier host makes $30 million a year to work 1 day a week. A deal that's become an increasing source of embarrassment for former boy wonder Caesar Conde, the Universal News Group chairman, who was somehow suckered into approving the arrangement. Wow. Despite Maddow's years of credulous on-camera detective work being thoroughly discredited, Conde decided to pay her more to work less. Earlier this year, Maddow produced her first documentary, shamelessly titled From Russia with Lev. It's over, man. It's just over. They got Sharpton. Joy Reid. Considered by many cable television observers to be MSNBC's new standard bearer, in light of Maddow's near total absence, she's getting about $3 million per year. This is crazy how much money they're making. Look at these views on YouTube. 7,000, 19 hours ago, 27,000, Matt Gaetz, 30,000. And look, I'm willing to bet these are accidental views, just accidental. Now, of course, people are asking about CNN, and I'll give CNN this. With 17.2 million subscribers, CNN has certainly put in more work on YouTube than other networks. If we look to their video section, you can see that, what do we have here? 15 hours ago, they got 155,000. 16 hours ago, they got 272,000. Ain't bad. Biden authorizes Ukraine to use long-range U.S. weapons in Russia. It's got 1.1 million views. However, as much as I can give them credit for having substantially more views on YouTube, this is still comparable to a mid to large size podcast. So for this channel, for instance, averages 224,000 views per video. Some are smaller, some are larger, and so it averages it down. They look like they're averaging about, I think 120 might be fair. Some are smaller, some are larger. So that's mid to large. A lot of the big podcasts might periodically get a big video, like this one's got 1 million, but CNN is propped up by YouTube. YouTube puts it in your face despite being a garbage network that doesn't actually convey anything of substance. So I'll give them that credit. Fine. But now, of course, as I mentioned earlier, AOC now exemplifying the change. In the first segment this morning, I was talking a bit about the Trump dancing everyone's doing, no more bending the knee, and AOC. But I want to show you some of the results because I didn't get into all the details. AOC asked voters why they backed her candidacy and Trump's reelection. Instagram users pointed to the economy and Gaza. It is strange, but AOC was also asking people to give her podcast recommendations. AOC doesn't want to be Joe Scarborough. So she knows, and she's known this for a while because she's a little bit smarter than that. Not the smartest apple in the bunch, but like so many, there's I'm not gonna call out every single person because I don't want to accuse everyone of being a grifter like the left does. But when you look at someone like, Kyle Kalinske, that dude used to be a rational progressive, and now he's gone off the deep end. And you can see there's no turning back for him. He's going to keep doubling down on why he's right. Meanwhile, AOC's jumping ship. That ship is sinking. Woke is broke, and they're getting out of there. But hey, to all the liberals that want to keep playing that game, good luck. Here's what people responded to AOC. She asked people who supported both Trump and me why. Someone said, it's simple, Trump and you care for the working class. Someone said, wanted change, so I went with Trump and blue for the rest of the ballot to put on the brakes. Wow. Voted Trump, but I like you and Bernie. I just don't trust party establishment politicians. One person said, stagnation and excuses. Both of you push boundaries and force growth. Someone says, I would have voted for you and Trump, but I'm in California. I like your style. Then there's, this one's interesting. Someone said, voted for Trump in Arizona, but voted for Rubin instead of Kerry Lake because I thought he's good at handling war. AOC makes an interesting point to get off the internet. Let me see if I'll play this video from her.
Y'all, this is why I say that we should be signing up to knock on doors and be on the phones, because the internet and mass media, which, by the way, at this point, all of these apps, Instagram, X, like Twitter, whatever, it's mass media too, because they've all been bought up by billionaires the same way.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these television channels have. Anyways, if you're only tuning in to those mediums, you will think that most people fall along this spectrum.
So my response to this is, where do people consume their news if not for the media and social media? So people tend to fall along these norms. See, AOC is making a mistake right now. She specifically asked for a cohort of people who fall outside the lines and then said, aha, see, they exist. Well, we know they exist. That's why Trump was fighting to win their votes. But most people do fall within certain lines. She's wrong about that. And it is because the corporate press. But my point with highlighting AOC is just to show they're jumping ship, ladies and gentlemen. MSNBC is about to be shuttered, sold, or whatever. Their ratings are so bad. Why would anyone buy that network? These people are despicable scumbags who lied over and over again. So if anyone were to buy MSNBC, you'd have to fire everybody. I'm assuming they make money off carriage fees, but nobody even watches. However, for the time being, to the elderly who need hearing aids or reverse mortgages, cable TV news is the place for you. Now, these days, when I watch Fox News, we watch on YouTube TV. And so the advertisements on that are programmatic. I see ads for tactics, skateboards, and that's usually it. And My Pillow. But I think the Fox ads still run. It's just sometimes the ads are YouTube ads. So I don't know. Sometimes there's it's a lot of ads for elderly people. I think those are directly sold onto Fox. I tried to advertise on MSNBC and they never got back to me. So how about that? I mean, Matt Walsh is advertising on there. We wanted to advertise. I think we wanted to do. We were working on this campaign. We never did, and we could still do it. But we wanted to make a product called Our Pillow, which was a terrible communist version of My Pillow. Basically, it was a burlap sack full of packing peanuts, and the idea was to have a communist advocating for Our Pillow, which is cheap. And then the way it would work is you'd get a box full of packing peanuts and a burlap sack on top with instructions on how to pour the packing peanuts into the burlap sack. And so we were hoping to run those ads because it would be funny. And Fox said yes. And we were like, we got to talk to Mike Lindell because it could be really, really funny. And we want to actually do a series of commercials. We never did. I mean, I wish I had more time and energy and a team for this stuff. But MSNBC just ignored us outright. Like they responded one time and then just stopped responding. We didn't tell them what we said. We were inquiring about ad rates. And then I think they responded one time. We responded back with, 30-second slot, primetime hours, and then she never got back to us. So we're like, sure, whatever. But after this one commercial, we wanted to do another one where it was round 2, where we have a communist selling pillows, but then Mike Lindell kicks the door in and My Pillow employees take over Our Pillow and shut down the communists. And Mike Lindell's like smoking a cigar. These were the ideas we had. We never did. Would have been fun. Maybe we can still do it. I don't know. Anyway, guys, this is where we're currently at. MSNBC and CNN, they've imploded. They're gone and they're begging. They're begging to be let back into the fold because you know what it is? Joe and Micah know they're about to be out of a job and culturally irrelevant. Here's the thing. Once MSNBC is gone, by what medium will they have to redeem themselves and ask America to let them back in? They won't. So they're trying to turn it around now. So in the event MSNBC shutters in the short term, they can try and go somewhere and say, please hire us. Or launch a YouTube channel and be as, just kind of pathetic as Don Lemon. Good luck. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. We got more segments coming up. The next will be at 1 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all then.